Hello and welcome back to Combustion Inc. My name's Darcy and welcome to the news. Yet another news segments like F1 chat that I've announced recently. The news is going to be focusing on more general broad motoring news than specific motorsport news like F1 chat is, but I've expanded this set. It is a little bit different now. We've got a DBR9 just up there, got a book or two behind there, but yeah, hopefully, we're just expanding on this and see what it will look like in the end, and if it's a bit cluttered, I can always change it, can't I? Today we'll be talking about all things motoring, and what better place to start than Monterey Car Week in Monterey, California, arguably one of the most glittering events on the Western Seaboard. Monterey Car Week is where petrolheads from all over the world and all walks of life come to talk everything cars and also display their cars, and is always finished by the incredible Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, arguably one of the most incredible concourse events in the entire world. Over the past few years though, Monterey Car Week has also become an event for which a lot of manufacturers unveil new models to their lineup, and 2018 was no exception. After weeks of online leaks, BMW finally threw the covers off their brand new Z4. The new Roadster may share its underpinnings with the soon-to-be-released Toyota Supra, but the Z4 is unmistakably German in its feel and also its quality. The new Z4 was shown off in M40i trim, which means it scores the same turbocharged 3-litre straight-six engine as the M140i, with 335 horsepower and 450 Nm of torque. Power is sent straight to the rear wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission, which helps the new BM rocket from 0 to 100 in just 4.6 seconds. A 2-litre 4-pot is also expected to follow, as well as maybe a number of other engine choices such as diesels even, but we're not quite sure yet, as BM only showed off the M40i at Pebble Beach. Torsional rigidity is obviously extremely important in an engaging driving experience, and BMW are keen to point out that the new Z4 is actually 30% more rigid than the outgoing M4 Coupe. The rear-wheel drivetrain also benefits dynamics, and BMW claim that the new Z4 offers a Mazda MX-5 matching 50-50 weight distribution. In terms of styling, personally, I'm not the hugest fan of BMW styling. I do find obviously the M4 quite menacing, it's quite cool looking. The M5 in particular is actually quite menacing and mean, but they're not exactly like gorgeous looking. The M2 also is very cool looking, but it doesn't really take your breath away. However, I think the new Z4 finds a really nice balance between the intimidating M5 and the striking i8. Interior-wise, the new Z4 is obviously derived from BMW's newest models, such as the M5, so it has a very similar steering wheel and infotainment system, but obviously adding its own distinct flavour and spin on things with its open-topped driving experience. Pricing is yet to be confirmed, but as a projected rival of the Porsche Cayman and Boxster, expect prices to be upwards of $110,000. Personally, I think the Z4 is a really cool car. It's great to see BMW back in the game with their Roadster. It's been quite a while since we last had the old Z4, I think about 7 years or so, so I'm just really happy to have another small, fun BMW. It's gonna be a lot of fun if they can get the dynamics right and get the package right. I think it'll more than take the fight to the class-winning Porsche Cayman and Porsche Boxster. Now, the second huge reveal at Monterey this week was undoubtedly the Bugatti Divo. Now, Bugatti's been teasing us on social media for a few weeks or so about a new model, and they keep mentioning the name Divo. Albert Divo, obviously a famous French racing driver for Bugatti back in the 20s and 30s, I believe it was. And as we saw on the gorgeous lawn of the Pebble Beach golf course, Bugatti has certainly cooked up something special. The Divo is what Bugatti says is a return to the more extravagant coach-building days of the company of the 20s, 30s and 40s. But not only is the Divo historically significant for Bugatti, it's also its first foray into the world of track-focused hardcore hypercars in the vein of the McLaren Senna or even the Koenigsegg 1-to-1. Though based upon the outgoing Chiron, the Bugatti Divo undoubtedly differentiates itself from its younger brother with its looks. Where the Chiron is elegantly menacing, the Divo looks like something out of Tron. It's incredibly futuristic looking, and it is designed to manipulate the air around it. Gone is the regular rectangular headlight assembly you might find in this Chiron, replaced with a flowing LED strip to better aid airflow, I imagine. The Chiron's signature C-line is actually also shortened to help reduce the drag coefficient, but there's also a really menacing pair of side skirts down both sides of the car to accelerate airflow, but also provide that extra cooling to the massive quad turbocharged 16-litre 1500 horsepower W16 engine. The pop-up spoiler is gone too, replaced with a gargantuan rear wing that helps the Divo produce a total of 90 kilograms more downforce than the Chiron, and thanks to a 35 kilogram diet, the Divo also accelerates a hair faster too, pulling off the line a massive 1.6 Gs of lateral acceleration. Overall, the Divo is a whopping 8 seconds faster than the Chiron around Volkswagen's Nardo test circuit, a real testament to the Divo's extravagant but functional aerodynamics. All 40 Bugatti Divos have already been sold, and each for a whopping 7.9 million Australian dollars, or around 5 million euros, nearly double that of the standard Chiron. The Divo isn't for everyone, but in terms of exclusivity, it's hard to find anything that comes close. And speaking of exclusivity, let's move on to Ferrari. Ferrari have a long and storied history with Monterey Car Week, and 2018 was no exception to that rule. Coming just 6 months after its hardtop brother was unveiled at the 2018 Geneva Motor Show, Ferrari has thrown the covers off the 488 Pista Spider, the open-clad version of Ferrari's ultimate mid-engine track toy. Like its hard-topped brother, the Pista Spider scores the same sublime handling, active aerodynamics, and the same 3.9 litre twin-turbo V8 with a whopping 720 horsepower and 770 newton meters of torque. However, Ferrari's 50th ever convertible boasts a raft of features not found on the regular Pista. For example, the Pista Spider debuts Ferrari's all-new FDE, or Ferrari Dynamic Enhancer, which is what Ferrari says makes driving on the limit more controllable and intuitive. And though it features a full metal folding roof, the 488 Pista Spider is actually the first Ferrari convertible to be lighter than its coupe brother, weighing in at just 1,380 kilograms, as opposed to the regular Pista's 1,385 kilograms. And I know that isn't much, but when you're on that level of shaving off a gram here and a gram there, it really, really does add up. Now, the 488 Pista was a little bit controversial when it was first released, because a lot of people were a little bit unsold on the styling. You know, some people thought that it detracted and kind of massacred the 488 GTB's natural, flowing, elegant styling. Whatever that means. Personally, I've always liked the 488 Pista. I think it's a really, really cool car. I really like the S-duct at the front, borrowed from the 488 GTE car. I think it's just awesome with the rear kind of flipped, kind of rear spoiler that's really, really understated. And it's very, very aggressive, but it doesn't have like needless wings just stuck on the back of it, or a huge diffuser, which it does have a huge diffuser. But I think you get what I'm trying to say. It's not like an Aventador SVJ or a Huracan Performante, although that car is very cool in its own right. The example shown off at Pebble Beach and also in the press photos is this gorgeous white with this navy blue stripe and navy blue accents. It just looks absolutely stunning and really helps to show off the 488 Pista Spider's curves and aggressive aerodynamic additions. Pricing hasn't been confirmed yet, neither has the Australian delivery dates or anything like that, but expect pricing to be around 50,000 more than the regular Pista. That's what we usually look at with Ferrari special editions and Ferrari Spiders and convertibles, but we'll have to see what it is when they release it. And lastly, Sotheby's auctions have broken the record for the most expensive car sold at auction, with a 1960 Ferrari 250 GTO that went for a whopping 66 million Australian dollars, or around 50 million US. We know how special the 250 GTO is, being handcrafted by Sergio Scaglietti and featuring a hand-built V12 engine where not all power figures were exactly the same across all 250 GTOs. If you didn't know that, there's a interesting bit of trivia. So 66 million is the benchmark. No doubt that will get beaten very, very soon, although it is interesting to note that over the last few months, we've heard that a private sale between an owner and a buyer of a 250 GTO took place, and apparently this buyer exchanged a whopping $92 million for his example. Just madness. So that was everything new in the world of motoring for this week. Stay tuned for my Belgian Grand Prix recap, because that'll be coming very soon. And in the meantime, thank you again for watching. Please remember to like if you did enjoy the video and subscribe. Thanks guys. Catch you later.